actually get involved in them? What is it doing for you? And what's the deeper whole purpose of doing it, right? Like there's absolutely conferences that you can go to that would be just like a one-time thing, and you're not actually going to the group every single week, right? But then there's other organizations and associations where you actually attend on a consistent basis, right? So it could be like an organization that hosts a monthly meeting and you get together and you have networking with your peers that are in the association. Maybe there's a guest speaker or something like that, and there's a purpose behind the organization, right? And so when you as a leader are thinking about for yourself being involved in any kind of networking, I think that it's really important that you keep in mind 3 key things about why you do or do not want to be involved in an association. And so the first thing I want to talk to you about is that as a leader, the more that you can give yourself an opportunity to connect with people who are at your same level, right? So you could be the top person who's in technology at a company, and then who are the other people who are the top person in technology in other companies, right? In your marketplace, or even it could be like a global thing, because so many of these associations will also allow people to gather and get together via Zoom or Teams or something like that, right? So the benefit of connecting with people who are similar to your job title is because you're going to glean information, maybe get some mentoring, get some help, and just build relationships with people who are in a similar space to who you are and what's going on. So there's a lot of benefit to joining that type of a group, because it's going to help you work through challenges, get some advice and different things like that. Also to offer that as well. And then the second type of thing I would like for you to consider is that how are you going to contribute to the association, right? So if you're going to be involved, going and attending, let's say like a monthly luncheon with a guest speaker or something like that, and you sit on the side and you're sitting there and you eat your food and you push back away from the table and you got your arms crossed over your chest, that's not going to show people that you're very engaged and interested, right? And just somebody who's just there kind of just quietly, like, just really don't have anything to say. End of it, you clap, you grab your keys and your cell phone, you walk out and you head back to the office, right? So that doesn't really count for networking and making the most of it. So if you're going to be involved in an association, I really want you to think about, well, how can you lean into connecting better with the group and the people that are there? And so over the years, I've known several people who've gotten involved in associations and even find themselves to be like the person who coordinates the guest speakers or the person who's the president of the association. And this doesn't typically mean you have to do this forever and ever and ever, okay? You're not signing up for like a 5-year commitment or something, okay? But it could be for a season, it'd be for like a year or something. But it's a great way to give back to the association and to connect with people in really unique ways because of your association with the association, right? And so that's a second thing that can make a huge difference for you. So if you're just planning to go and just be, just like a wallflower, if you will, yeah, you're going to get a little bit out of it, but you'll get so much more out of it if you actually get involved. And then the third thing I want you to think about is, beyond the association, who do you know that you could include in that association? Because this is where you get to start thinking about, who are the people that I know that would benefit from this, right? And then you can do what you can to add to the association and bring great people into it. And you think about it, right? Like if you know good people, like why wouldn't you want to spend more time with them, And so when I look at like this association that I'm exploring joining, I love the idea of thinking, who do I know that I could invite to this, right? Who would benefit from this group? And so that's a way for not only the members that were there before, for them to benefit because of people that I know, right? But then I'm going to benefit from the people that those existing members know as well. And then, of course, the new people that I would look to bring in too. And so those are 3 different ways that you can make a difference if you really want to strengthen your professional networking. All right, I know I told you I was going to tell you 3 things that I think you should take into consideration when you're looking at joining an association, but I actually just thought of a 4th one as well. And that's this. not every association is worthy of you joining them. Okay. So what I recommend that you do is go as a guest, go as a visitor, something like that, explore it, and do that a couple of times, right? Because before you go and you pay the annual dues to be a part of it, and you start making commitments by having this on your schedule and on a regular basis, whatever it is, right? Before you do that, you need to double check and make sure, is that association a good fit for me, right? Is that a group where I want to pour my heart and soul into it as well, right? And so I also think that when you're really clear about your personal brand, the legacy that you're trying to build for yourself, and all these kinds of things to be that best version of yourself as a leader, you want to be clear on that stuff first before you start going and getting involved in networking associations. I've worked with clients before that as we were working on cleaning up their personal brand and who they are and that impact that they want to make as a leader, they started realizing, wow, actually there's some of these other associations here that this just really doesn't align with who I am and really what I really want to be doing. And so then they started to unplug from those, right? And so where I'm going with all this is that's why having that foundation set first is such a critical component. It's kind of like building a house, right? Like the first thing you're going to do, you're going to dig the foundation out. And then after you have the foundation in place, then you're going to build up from there, right? So let me help you with getting your foundation to be determined first before you start rushing out and going to all these different networking things and finding stuff to be a part of. Okay, you don't need more frenzy, all right? You need answers, you need clarity, and you need to build from what is authentically your best self. So get in touch with me. Let's make sure that we get you scheduled for the Build Foundations. All right, my friends, I'll talk to you soon. Remember, get out there.